The domed city colony of Karkar was utterly silent. It had been 3 weeks since anybody had entered the hangar. It was only the automated city droid that had sent out a distress signal. Bug infestation, species xenographs, quarantine level 10. The Federation had sent a cruiser to blow the dome and let the harsh vacuum of space take care of the bugs. Captain Grahad was hesitating. He could see the lifeform signals down below, and he knew that action was going to kill everybody, civilian and hopefully bugs alike. The bridge was deadly quiet as they all knew what they were about to do. He took a deep breath and was about to give the order when his second-in-command called out. Incoming message from the Federation. They are delaying the destruction order. They are sending experts to investigate and deal with the problem. He turned to Shim. Experts? In big bugs? Who are they sending? Humans, apparently. They exchanged glances, both confused. The rest of the crew had mixed reactions. Some were chuckling, others were groaning, and the ensign was confusingly asking, "What? Who? What's the joke?" Grahad turned to the ensign. Humans are a special case, not the smartest or strongest. Hell, they are pretty average on all but 3 points. They are the bravest idiot who will fuck anybody that vaguely resembles them. The worst part is that they are pretty good at anything involving being stupidly brave or giving you a good time. Partly because they will try anything, crazy bastards. There were more chuckles from the crew as the ensign blushed, as she wondered what humans looked like and if she vaguely resembles them. The navigator next to her leaned over to her. "You know what they call us?" She shook her head. "Sexy red panda elves. We might get luckily." The jokes lit the mood of the bridge as there were several rather crude jokes being shared. Captain Grah had let them. They had after all almost blown up a colony of civilians, and when the signal arrived that the humans were dropping out of hyperspace, all looked out to see the human ship appear. It was not anything like they expected. It had a main hull and 2 smaller outrigger hulls that emerged from the side as they glided into view. The 2 smaller hulls were clearly hangars, and the ship was about 500 meters long. It was impressive and reminded them of a dreadnought meant to break blockades. "They are hailing us, Captain." Grahad nodded and the human bridge came into view. It was clean and clearly following military standards, though none of the humans was in uniform. Next to who he assumed was the human captain was a security officer he recognized. "Vara? What are you doing here?" "Hello, brother." Vara smirked at him. "I'm here as an observer. Captain Elizabeth Weir is taking over the operation. We need to go down there and gather intel. Please send over everything you have. I will drop over later today." "You're not going down there, right?" The human captain smiled. "No, she is not. We are sending down one of our best. Sergeant Malcolm Reynolds and his crew. We are not allowing any pencil pusher to join us." She turns to Vara. "No disrespect, sir," before turning back to Grahad and continuing as if nothing had been said. "Down on the ground. If you want an observer, it has to be a combat-trained bastard with nerves of steel." Harad was stunned for a second but saw his sister smile and calmed himself. This human was clearly living up to their reputation. "I think we will be happy with just watching the video feed, Captain." The human captain smirked as if she had expected the answers and then nodded. "No problem, Captain. We will keep you informed. Over and out." The signal was cut and Grahad looked at his crew as he sat down. "Humans." Jack McLeod got into the dropship as Malcolm gave him a look. "Really?" Then shook his head at him as he sat down. Jack didn't care. How can they blame him with that Nalos woman standing there? God damn it, those aliens was sexy. "Hey, shit for brains. Eyes on me. You can ask for her number if you survive this." Jack turned to Malcolm and got his game face as he was holding his helmet in his hand. The armor they wore was light but still a little bulky. He hoped he didn't have to get into any tight places. "Great, so this is a 3-pronged mission. Dutch, you and your team got the fun job. Make your way to the life support, but the gas in at my mark and we fumigate the bastards. Exterminate as many as you can on the way. Better they run into the big guns than the rescue teams. Sarah, search and rescue, you got as much time as Dutch can give you." Sarah grinned at the big, muscular college. "Walk, don't run. I need time." Dutch and his team just grinned and started to check their rather large guns. Malcolm then turned his attention towards the three that were left. Harrigan, you take Vasquez and Jack. Head to the storage area. Your job is intel gathering. Find out how these bugs got there. Expect bugs, but I have a feeling most will go to fight the crazy guy over there. They all looked at Dutch and his 5-man team. We can share if you guys want to? Hell no, you can hug all the bugs. Harrigan turned back to Malcolm. Who's the backup team? Rico. Rico? God damn it. What are they expecting down there? It's just xenographs, right? They have been there for 2 weeks with no attempt to evacuate. Worst case scenario, we are talking about 26,000 and God knows how many kissers. So, be careful. Well, at least it's not the Xenos. There was a short silence as they all agreed. The damn bugs that started this whole company had been exterminated for about 100 years now, but they all know what Grandma Ripley had fought with her partner. Dutch tried to lighten the mood as he playfully hit Jack's knee. Don't worry. These xenographs are the retarded nephew of the Xenos. Just don't kiss them, or you might get some indigestion. At that, they all started to laugh as the dropship made its way to the colony. Several drone evac ships followed them to help with the evacuation but would not land before they got the clear signal. The dropship entered the hangar, and they got a first look at the damage. Inside the dropship they were all getting ready to the tunes of "Loving You is a Dirty Job," but somebody got to do it. Malcolm closed the door to the cockpit as he could stand the rather bad singing. It was a strange ritual, but if his crew liked it then that's what they would do. The ship touched down and he looked around at the empty hangar. The radar showed no life sign in the room, but only the emergency light were on. It left lots of dark corners to hide in. He gave the signal, and Dutch opened the hatch, singing, "It's the land of the free and easy," as the whole crew replied, "It's the home of the damned." Malcolm kept an eye on the radar and there was no movement. The area was empty. His crew sang with horrible voices as they set up the perimeter with alert eyes. The song stopped suddenly as they found the first victim, the rotten corpse of a Nalo man. His gut burst open from the inside and his legs half-eaten. Carlos ran over and did a quick scan of the body. About a week old, I would guess. But it's not a xenographs. Look at the size of the hole. The xenographs are smaller when they come out. We need to get more intel ASAP. Malcolm came out of the ship and made his way over to the dead body, as everybody was waiting for what may be a change of orders. He looked at the scans and then over to Harrigan. Get to the command center and hack the system. Dutch, bring the whole cart. We don't know what we are using. Dutch cursed as they went to get the whole cart of chemicals and started to load them up in backpacks. This would set them back a few minutes. Malcolm looked at Sarah. Well, your jobs are the same, but we freeze them in the evac ships. She nodded, and her 9-man crew moved out. Harrigan looked at his 2-man crew and just started following Sarah. Behind them, they could hear Malcolm chewing up Curtis for not manning the ship's turret. Jack was getting nervous as they walked down the silent hallway with the crew. There was no sound besides the footstep they made. The hallways were empty with no sign of combat, at least for the first 100 meter. There wasn't much light, but he had turned the display to show biosign. Then they found 7 other corpses. Jack looked at the heads-up display on his helmet. As a written order came to switch to silent mode and turn to channel 3. He pressed the button and turned to the channel. Do you see this? 7 corpses seemed to be stuck together with some sort of web. Gary, take a sample. Jack watched as Sarah's team started to work, and then Harrigan looked at him and waved him along. Channel for Jack. Let them work, we got our job. Aye, sir. He turned to their channel and moved after his 2 teammates. I would have thought the station would be more, alien. This looks just like Saturn V. What did you expect? They are our size and shape. This is simply the most practical way of building things. Vasquez found his comment funny. They moved forward with their weapons raised and ready. None of them wanted to be surprised. I don't know, well, I guess you're right. They do resemble us. Harrigan chuckled. You seemed pretty taken by them. He just wants to find out how similar they are. Vasquez replied. Don't give me that. You want to find out too. You probably rape one of them if nobody volunteers as a test subject. Jack checked around a corner and stopped. There was something about 15 meters from him. He raised his fist as he aimed his guy at the thing. It was in the dark and a clear biosign came from it. Harrigan quietly lined up next to him as Vasquez covered their back. "We got a biosign down here. It's not moving," Harrigan called in, and they quickly received a reply from a voice they didn't recognize. "We read it. Can you light it up?" Jack and Harrigan looked quickly at each other as they realized something was wrong. "Who are we talking to, and what exactly do you mean by light it up?" "Shoot it." "Oh, this is Captain Grahad, and I meant to put more light on it." "Don't shoot unless you are sure it's hostile." "Affirmed, sir. Just out of curiosity." "How much have you heard?" Harrigan gave Jack a nod, and they both got ready to turn on the light to blind whatever was in front of them. "We have all been listening in since you landed," Vasquez cursed as the flashlight got turned on, and a large plant that was formed as a nalo came into view. Harrigan tried to hide a laugh as he looked at the plant. "False alarm, and I'm sorry, sir. For my teammate, she was just joking. It's just friendly banter to keep morale up. Just banter and not serious. I know a few of my crew mates that will be disappointed now." "Yes." Vasquez stroked a pose, and Jack and Harrigan just shook their heads and started to move forward. Suddenly, they heard gunfire in the distance as the Dutch came into the open channel. "I found some bugs. They are just xenographs on steroids. Hawkins is gathering a sample now." Sarah came on the open channel as well. "We saw movement heading your way, Dutch, about 50. Have fun." "And you're right. They are just a little bigger. Must be something they ate." Harrigan replied, "Ate? Do you mean nalos?" "No, they have steroids in the web. These bugs have been altered." Jack listened quietly as they made their way to what should be the control room. The door was ajar, with a dead body stopping it from closing. Harrigan gave him the signal, and he moved in and stood face to face with a xenograph chewing on a dead nalo. The bug looked like a black, oily 6-foot-tall grasshopper standing on its hind leg. It had 4 clawed arms, whereas the 2 highest had something that could resemble fingers. He didn't give it time to react as he shot it with a short burst. Each bullet hit the chest and exploded the moment it hit organic material. The xenographs tilted its head slightly and staggered a step towards him as Harrigan put a bullet in its head. "Always finish the job. Head shoot unless you got Dutch BFG." Harrigan moved past him and tried to log in on the terminal. "Secure the door. I have a feeling this is our new office for a while." Jack and Vasquez cleared the door, locked themselves inside and scanned the bodies. The poor dead bastard in the door was infected. They put a bullet in his chest to kill the larva. Then they covered both of them up and started to check the room for vents and hidden bugs, not finding any. Harrigan had already logged in. "Okay, it looks like we are in. I see the problem. The black box connection and upload cable are destroyed. Someone has to go into the cable shaft and fix it." They both looked at Jack as he cursed. "You are the engineer, after all." Vasquez found the panel door to the cable shaft and Jack shook his head. "It's not that. The suit is too big, and I have to strip it down. Let's pray it's empty. Can't even take the rifle, only the pistol." He stared to remove his armor and removed spare the headset from his pack and put it on. At least it got a light attached. I'm again having to climb down into a dark place filled with monsters holding a flashlight. He preferred a pistol instead. Then, he grabbed his light tool bag and looked into the vent, turning on the flashlight. "Fuck, I hate this. Hey HQ, I need somebody who knows the layout to guide me. I'll be on channel 6. Jack holstered his pistol and a few extra clips, put the pad on his wrist and tool bag on his belt before reluctantly climbing into the cable shaft. "Hello? I was told to help you." A soft feminine voice filled his ear and he stopped for a second. "AI or human?" "I don't understand. I'm not human or AI. I'm Ensign Zula. Captain Graham told me to help guide you through the shaft and help you." Jack smiled to himself as he slowly continued to move through the small shaft. "I'm sorry. I'm Jack McLeod and yes, I need your help. I can't read nalos. Is your helmet malfunction? I don't think I can help with human tech." "No, I'm in the cable shafts. The helmet will just be in the way, so I need your help." "Okay, we were in the western control room, near the hangar area. I have you on screen. I'm reading your position. You need to go 10 meters straight, then there is a shaft going down. Climb down to the bottom. There is a box you need to check. Ah, thank you, Piety. The motion tracker from the helmet can't be removed. I have no idea if I'm alone here. Zula didn't know what to say. She was speaking with a human who was risking his life, and he didn't seem scared at all. Well, if it's so tight, then the xenographs shouldn't be able to get in there, right? You should be safe. If I only was so lucky. Xenographs is their last stage. First, it's the egg stage. Those eggs are about 30 centimeters long. They release a kisser when they crack. It's a small, flying bastard. Looks like a shaved bat with claws on their wing and a big dick. A big tail that holds the actual egg of the xenographs. They insert those eggs in any opening they can manage and then just die. The xenographs then grows inside you until it's 30 centimeter long and then it bursts out of your stomach. By that time you're already dead, so you won't feel anything. He stopped and looked down the shaft. He didn't see anything and had a bad feeling about it. How deep is this shaft? Zula had been monetarily distracted, listening to his voice. She had pulled this file and been staring at his picture. Mine? Shaft, yes. 36 meters. She was blushing now, and her colleague grinned at her. 36 meters, I see 3 holes, I'm guessing not important for us now? In a mostly redundant system, if the main gets operational, then you don't have to go step by step to fix the redundancy. Okay. Not the hole I want to go down in today, but here we go. Jack smirked as he could hear her breath getting heavier. So what do you humans do for fun? I never met one before. Zula tried her best to stay calm. Jack was climbing down slowly and was thinking of a smooth way to answer her question. But when he peeked into the first side shaft, he cursed. Fuck! Zula coughed in shock, and everybody on the bridge looked at her. Captain Grahad quickly turned to listen in to their channel. Kisser, damn it. Let's see. Does star, circle, square, square, half circle towards square mean anything? Jack whispered as quietly as he could. Zula had to think for a second. Entertainment. Why? Several shots suddenly rang out, and everybody jumped at the sound. McLeod. McLeod? Are you okay? Captain Grahad came over to Zula's desk, and she stared at the screen. Yeah, I'm okay, but they won't be watching any movies in a while. God damn it, I can see some eggs, I've got to crush them. Be right back. Jack switched to the main channel. Hey, quick question. Is their blood dangerous? I got some on me. Dutch replied between the salvos of fire. Nah, just don't drink. It might give you diarrhea. How's it going? Oh, I'm inside the cable shaft shooting kissers, trying to get the system back online. What about you guys? I'm 500 from the life support. Looks like they have set up camp in the park area, so it's not too bad. What about you, Sarah? We got about 100 that we are escorting back, and there are no runaways, so this is easy. Guess I luck. Fuck incoming. Jack sighed and turned back to Channel 6. Okay, I'm back. He crushed the eggs he saw and returned to the shaft. You got to let me know which one is the important ones, so I don't shoot the hubs. Zula let out a relived breath, and the captain walked away, turning his attention to the main operation and Sarah's ambush. I will. The next 2 are essential, and the last 2 are semi-essential but not for the missions. So how did the eggs get in there? Fuck. There is one in here. Jack stopped and looked around the shaft, then checked his mag. He reloaded and started to move slowly downwards. What? One in there? With you. Zula was getting scared now and had a hard time breathing. Jack could hear it. Hey, easy now. I don't die that easy. Beside, I didn't answer what I like to do. Zula bites her lips as she hoped he had. Mum, so what do you like to do? Foo. I like dancing and polite conversa. Fuck die. You bastard. Then several shots rang out. Jack had tried to keep himself and Zula calm as he climbed downwards, but he saw the xenographs coming out from the side shaft. Quickly climbed up to attack him. He reacted by dropping himself down on the bastard, using his left arm with its pad to protect him. The bug bit into and they both tumbled down to the bottom. Jack was lucky and landed on top of him and pushed the pistol right to his head as he screamed and pulled the trigger.